Today I'm back behind the wheel of an FK2 Honda Civic Type R, which makes me very happy. But it's also quite a somber day, as this is one of the last 100 cars of the FK2 generation to ever be made. That makes me very sad. You see, the FK2 was a real wild child in terms of the hot hatch plethora that was offered. In an era that's seen the posh hot hatchback come into fruition, the Type R was a rebel with a cause, because it went out to be the fastest front-wheel drive car around the Nurburgring, and it did that. The 2-litre turbocharged VTEC engine was a question mark before we first drove it. It's the first time the Screamer VTEC engine had been equipped with a turbo for the UK market, at least anyway, or the rest of Europe. And, you know, was it going to spoil the character? Was it going to ruin that delicious recipe? Well, thankfully it didn't. That great big torquey punch gave it a 400 Newton meter mid-range slug to just propel you off into the distance. It's a really impressive unit. Honda excelled themselves. Now, as I mentioned, this black edition is one of the last 100 cars, and we've done a full review of the car, so don't forget to check that out. But I just wanted to take a moment to reminisce a little, because we've done some incredible things with this Type R, obviously driven by your guys' hunger for more content on the car, and our love for the FK2. It really is a brilliant hot hatchback. Ever since its launch in Slovakia, where we took it across the border into Austria, some really amazing roads out there, and of course onto the infamous Slovakia Ring, which is a world touring car track, the car really proved itself to be an engaging, exciting, quite rough and ready hot hatchback experience. Of course, the looks have always split opinion, but it's a 306 brake horsepower hot hatchback. Why shouldn't it shout about its credentials? Shortly after returning from the launch in Slovakia, we were amongst the first to get the Type R on home soil, and that review actually became our first million-view video, so thank you guys so much for watching. And that sort of spurred on more Type R content, really, because it's what you guys wanted to watch. But that was a real achievement for us. You know, at that point we'd been about a year and a bit into YouTube. We'd invested a lot of time and money, and it sort of just reaffirmed that we were doing something right, and it was a real highlight of last year. With all of the hoo-ha of all-wheel drive hot hatchbacks coming into the fore, it was only right that we compared this car to its all-wheel drive counterparts. We did various back-to-back comparisons, stats tests, and actually we were the first to compare it directly against the Ford Focus RS. And just because it's front-wheel drive didn't put it at a huge disadvantage. Of course, it loses out on the launch, but all in all, it's a more engaging car to drive than many of the cars we put it up against. And in asking the question, is the Type R still relevant? Well, the answer was yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then, of course, there was our big one, the Type R European road trip, something that will stay with me for a very long time, as we picked up 3 of these Type Rs from Germany, drove to the Nurburgring, proved that that plus R button really does do something on that track. I've never driven a car that was so at home on a racetrack than this on the Nurburgring. Then from there we went back through Germany, de-restricted autobahns, proved that the car would do its 167 mile per hour top speed and then some. And we went through 3 other European countries and ended up in Hungary, where we then met up with this car's ancestors and went out on track with all of them around the infamous Hungaroring. To cap that all off, it was a last-minute sprint back to catch our plane in Germany all the way across Europe, a non-stop drive. That was a pretty incredible road trip. And that brings us to right here, right now, where I'm driving through some of Britain's country roads, just trying to savour the nuances of this FK2, because in all likelihood, this will be the last time I drive one. Whilst the new Type R is going to be exciting and new and coming to America, the FK2 will always be a special car for us. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a goodbye to make.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for all of the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For breaking news and written reviews, visit www.insidelane.co.uk.